Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all. Welcome back once again on this fine Friday afternoon, 4 p.m. in the UK, right here live on the YouTube and on Twitch. Look at these glorious people saying hello to us this fine afternoon, which is nicely settling down weather-wise, but it will be, and I'm so sorry, but it will be a slightly shorter drama time than normal, purely because I have to go and be a bartender tonight for my son's prom. His Leavers prom. Apparently they have prom in the UK now, which I find kind of hilarious. But I'm going to be serving cocktails to the wonderful children and having fun. I'll try and get some pictures to send to you and all that kind of stuff. I am sad about it because I'm in a rush. I literally have to jet out of here. I have to fly to a supermarket. I have to buy ice and an ice box. Get back here, get in a taxi, shower. I think I have 5 minutes to shower or something like that. And then... it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, but it should be fun. They hired a clown. Yes, I was only asked to do this on Tuesday, on Monday, something like that. Monday or Tuesday, they were like, could you maybe do this? Emma suggested. I was like, oh, did she? That's really, really nice. That's awesome. Thanks, wife. Appreciate you just volunteering me for stuff on a Friday afternoon. I appreciate that. But I am looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. But we are going to do drama as much as we possibly can. And I just want to thank you all for sending in your stories to drama@preachgaming.com. The show doesn't exist without you guys. And, of course, to our website supporters who helped me and the team put things together, which includes the vote for the current game we're playing, as Lies of P has concluded, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which we played about 4 hours of today and has very much the potential to be my game of the year because, good God, what a journey that has started out as. And I cannot wait for Monday to get back into Yakuza. It was extraordinary. As of course, we played some Warhammer Rogue Trader this afternoon because it's on big discounts with their new DLC coming out. But having said all that noise, let's get going. Expedition 33 does have some competition for my personal tastes. It does. It started strong. We'll see how our can collecting experience goes. For our live audience, we need a guild name. They're pretty good, but they're not the best. So we need a mid-tier guild name. One of those guild names that is probably like somewhat inoffensive. Or, you know, something like that. That it's clearly not just the shitters who are trying to be good. The Can Clan, the Can Collectors. All right, we'll be the Can Collectors. I will say I'm being very bullied right now to do all the side games. The side games in Yakuza, which involves riding a bicycle and collecting cans and things, because you can S-rank it, so it has to be done, right? It has to be done. All right, let's have some fun. Beck says this is her favorite. We'll see what goes on here. Nathria changed my life. Changed my life too, because I stopped progging Mythic Raiding for the first time. For the last time. Great. Great. How wonderful is that? Wonderful. Preacher, Bex, Chris, get wrecked Nups, and you, Edram, and the lovely, lovely, wonderful, ever fair, effervescent chat. I think somebody, let me just polish this up real nice. Let me just polish this up real nice. Mikey, I need to share this story with you and everyone else. It's pretty close to my heart. Maybe it'll make someone smile, or maybe it will remind someone that sometimes the best loot in WoW, so we are in, of course, we're in Nathria, is the people and not the items. You sound way too wholesome to be on Drama Time. Or you are a positive vibes Andy and you are full of shit, which is also possible. Yeah, it's there's definitely a scale of where we're about to land with this. Mikey, I come from a strange country. A country that is often looked down upon by people like me. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's true, actually. Now I've seen it, yeah. Where people think pierogi should be its own food group. Where everyone believes that there is no such thing as a meal if it doesn't have dill on it. and can pronounce words with more consonants than vowels without breaking a sweat. I have mastered the art of dodging pigeons in the town square, and I can spot a kebab at 1,000 paces. Oh yes, I probably have a jar of pickled cucumbers. What do you mean pickles? We just call them pickles. I hail from the glorious land of Polska. So apologies, Poland, for anybody who's not clear on that. Apologies. You know, there are a lot... I know this is a side tangent already. There are a lot of people who have no idea what pickles are. And if you tell them, they think you're lying. I have had that conversation within the last 12 months with at least one person who was like, that's not true. And I'm like, what do you mean? Hey, you telling me they're gross? Most of you saw what happened with the Race to World First last time I had a giant pickle in my mouth with another man, where it sprayed the back of my throat with a wonderful amount of juice. You witnessed it in person. Now there's a lovely GIF to remind us all. That's fantastic. Oh, and it does show up on the Drama Time video feed. That's fantastic. There you go. Oh, for GMSec apparently wasn't aware of that. There you go. You can see it firsthand. I will point out it raised tens and tens of thousands of dollars for charity, yet not one of my proudest moments. I kind of wish those kids just didn't have any sort of education again. Mikey, I've been playing WoW on and off since late vanilla. A couple of years ago, I joined a mythic raid guild in the EU called the Can Collectors. We weren't top-tier world races or anything like that, but we were sweaty enough to take on mythic progress seriously. And like any serious, super serious mythic guild, our Discord was an absolute chaotic nightmare, as it should be. There is nothing... We see a lot of red flags on Drama Time, but a well-curated, orderly Discord for a high-end gaming community is just a red flag from hell. Because somebody who's in charge doesn't know how to have fun. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. If you look at the stellar Preach Gaming Discord, what you'll find is several channels which are filled with bastards and rats. Just relentless, honestly. The kind of people who take photographs of my home and replace all the pictures on the walls with pictures of feet. And take any sort of messages that are in the background and reword them into new and interesting ways. Yeah, you can scatter. You can scatter. You were caught this week. Yeah, you were caught. You were caught this week. We saw what you did. We saw what you did. Mikey, I want to take you to the glorious... Oh, no. I'm really sorry, Raiders. I mean, any mythic... Do we have any mythic Nathria progressors here? Do we have any? We probably do. I assume you can guess which boss this drama took place on. I doubt you can't figure this out as to which boss we are going to talk about here. Yes, it is one of the most infamous raid bosses of all time, and causes anybody who actually did it to wince in pain and suffering, and is officially my last ever fully progged mythic raid boss. So it's got that going for it as well. That was when my mythic raiding came to a stop. We were progressing the Stone Legion Generals Mythic. We had been bashing our heads against them for hours and hours and hours. And I know that you know how that goes. I do. People would misinterpret. Oh, you wiped to that? Oh, you wiping to bad play. Oh, that's unfortunate. We were missing interrupts, standing in shit, and I can tell you that the tension among what were usually very close friends in the raid group was getting very high. On what must have been our bazillionth wipe on this fucking boss, I lost my goddamn mind. I was playing DH. Oof. DH on Stone Legion. Rough. Doing my best to squeeze every drop of damage. And when we wiped again, I don't know what it was. I just snapped. Have any of you ever snapped? Like on voice? Like actually snapped because you're so frustrated? Like you go into full nerd meltdown and actually just snaps? I have. Yeah, for sure. I totally have. I totally have. I've absolutely snapped. I think to be fair though, I don't do it very often, but I think the last time I snapped was stupidly on Cho'Gall Mythic or Heroic or whatever the hardest thing was at the time. Like, I lost my fucking mind. I lost my mind. People were just being such fucking idiots and it drove me mad. And I just freaked the fuck out. I freaked the fuck out. I'll tell you what it was, because it pisses me off. If anybody ever did Cho'Gall, an ad came in, and you were supposed to DPS it slowly, and then the tank had to jump, a warrior had to leap over a pool so that it died specifically in the pool, which meant they had to leap out of aggro range, right? No, I'm not going to let it go, because if you can't do this, you're a fucking idiot and you shouldn't be there. And so, after like 5 pulls, we did it correctly every time for the next like 15 pulls, right? And after that, people got complacent and they started nuking the fuck out of that thing. So every time the warrior leapt away to leap over this fucking pool, it immediately lost aggro and went for people. And you know what made it worse? I was a DK at the time, and I had to wait forever before I could start DPS to make sure that I didn't cause that problem. And it was the fucking warlocks and the mages. Dickheads. Dickheads, one and all. Dickheads. And they ruined like 50 pulls, and I lost my fucking mind. I was like, you absolute arseholes. Like, just shoot the boss. You don't even need to shoot it. Shoot the fucking boss instead and wait 5 seconds. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I just snapped. I snapped. Are we raiding, or are we just feeding this boss free kills? Maybe if the healers kept people alive for more than 5 seconds, we could actually see some progress here. And following that, I went on a rant. When I had finished this rant, I then heard her voice. Clear, sharp, sexy, Spanish. It was majestic, like heaven had a sound. Fartles. Very funny, Bex. Fartles. Our holy priest. Fartles. I can't remember what she said, but I know that it involved the phrase that I was a little pickle-eating whiny bitch. And that was it. It turned into the kind of argument where everyone else in Discord either muted us or just listened in with popcorn. We went back and forth, blaming, snapping, screaming. The officers were trying to calm us both down, but at that point, fuck it. The raid night was a bust anyway. Who gives a shit? I'm fucking full send. The raid was officially called off during our argument, and while we were still going at it, everybody just logged off, and I looked at the raid frames, and all that was left was me and her. I saw her, though, still sitting in the voice channel. I don't know what made me do it, but I joined in again. Just me and her. There was a silence for a second when I joined that channel. I was debating what to do. And the only thing I could think to say was sorry. Oh, cooler heads. No, cooler heads. Sorry. Sorry. Quitter. Quitter. Sorry. Well done. Well done. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm just fucking so mad at this boss, bro. She laughed. But this oh no. Are you ready for your simp meter to go through the roof? She laughed, but not a hearty, guttural laugh. It was soft, delicate. Gross. Jesus Christ. A soft, delicate, genuine Spanish laugh. What's a Spanish laugh? Where's Tom? I need a voice recording of a Spanish laugh. It's so creamy. I need Tom on the case. Where's he at? I hadn't expected it to sound so flowing. A flowing laugh. We started talking. First about the raid, the boss, the strategy we were doing. Where did we really think things were going on? But then, you know, subjects started to drift. We started talking about WoW in general, you know. Talking about our characters, what alts we had, what our favourite zones were. And then we found something very deeply in common. You're not going to believe what brings them connection, guys, across the internet superhighway. It turns out that we both had the same favorite zone, Nagrand. And we both had a special affinity for the old version with floating rocks and the OST soundtrack in that zone. Oh my God. Like, I mean, basic as fuck. Nagrand is excellent, but it is basic as shit. It's like fucking 70% of people's favorite zone, man. We shared stories about the dumbest ways we died while playing World of Warcraft. I told her I charged once into a rare in Zandalar. I thought it was soloable. Wasn't. She told me this very funny story of dismounting in midair once because she hit the wrong key. An hour became 2 hours. 2 hours became 3. And before I knew it, I saw the sun rising across the Polish horizon outside. I had spent my entire night chatting with this person I barely knew outside of making raid calls. And from then on, you know, things were different. I assume this is a love story, so I'm adding a little jazz to the reading here. We started to do dungeons together, a little bit of M+ here and there, pushing keys way past what we were comfortable with, just because, you know what, we just had fun playing games together. That's all. It wasn't about the score. It was just about, you know, just gaming. Two like-minded people gaming. We farmed mounts, transmog. I even started doing achievements with her. I sometimes just logged into Discord to see if she was there. And if she was, my night felt so much better. Of course, the guild started to notice. And one of the reasons they started to notice is because our lively banter started to bleed into raid nights. I don't need that. I don't need two people flirting over raid night. I don't need that. Like, flirt on your own time, right? Like, I don't need to be listening to that. Neither do the 18 other people that are with you. Like, nobody needs to be hear that. The jokes started as they usually would, that we were like an old married couple. We would argue over who stood in the bad or whose fault the wipe was. But it wasn't just banter. We started talking outside of WoW as well. I started sharing, and so did she, about our real lives, our jobs, our families. I told her I was moving to a new city in Poland and how lonely I'd been, all on my own. She told me she had social anxiety IRL. I know I shouldn't laugh, but it's kind of funny that that would be her response. So anyway, I moved to this new city and I'm here all alone and, you know, and I can't go outside. So, boom, drop it like it's hot. She said how World of Warcraft had been a safe space for her. I thought I would start some food conversation. Raven, did you write this? I shared my favorite pierogi recipes with her. I think this... I mean, yeah. Is this Raven? Did you write this story? Because didn't you make pierogi at the last CrawlerCon for everybody? You have special recipes. I know you do. I know you do. No. Okay, Raven says no. But I mean, maybe. Mikey, it wasn't always smooth. Because there was a point when she almost left the guild. Some of her old mythic friends tried to recruit her for what they described as a better team. I didn't handle that very well. I got jealous. A little snappy, actually. I didn't want to admit how much it scared me that she might not be in that Discord channel some nights. And then there were times when I disappeared for a few days because work was too much. And she got worried about me, about my absence. Or raid nights were where we slipped back into old habits and actually did argue genuinely. But no matter what, we talked it out, often late into the night. After a few months, our feelings were beginning to bubble over. We couldn't take it anymore. We just had to meet in real life. I would like to point out, ladies and gentlemen, this story is on Drama Time. Any predictions as to what is about to happen here? Because of her social anxiety, I decided I would book a flight to Barcelona. We joked that I was only going for the paella. But let's be real, I was going to. Why would you...
I was going for fucking paella, all right?
Yeah, like, yeah, you fucking burying deep in that prawn combo. Of course, I was actually going just to see her. She came to the airport to meet me. And meeting her there was surreal. Like I had known her forever and was just seeing her again after a long time. It was the most incredible weekend ever. We explored the city, shared food, took selfies in WoW-themed shirts we'd made for the trip. Leaving was awful, but we promised it wouldn't be long before we would see each other again. And we would. Our guild were trolls, like all top-end raiding guilds, and they decided it would be hilarious to throw us a wedding in secret in Stormwind. They went full RP. They transmogged tux and dress, fireworks, cheer spam, and standing there after we'd been asked to come and see them in Stormwind, watching our characters together, hearing her laugh over Discord. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh. I realized that this wasn't a joke to me anymore. I muted myself to compose myself as my heart raced and my brain started to throb. I unmuted and I said, I want to give you guys an idea of what I'm reading here. I haven't scrolled down and this is like the last line on the page I'm looking at. Fartles. I know this is all a bit of fun, but I am about to be very serious with you. More serious than I've been in my entire life. Will you marry me? For real. You proposed over Discord? And you've met once for a weekend. You've met one time for a weekend. You know, I bet this has happened. I bet there's been a lot of wedding proposals over Discord. I'm about to scroll the mouse. I don't know what the answer is. Here we go. There was a pause, just long enough for me to panic that I had really fucked up. And then she said yes. And what made it odd is that she said yes in Discord and then typed yes in game. That's considerate. Of course, our Discord exploded. People were screaming, clapping, spamming emotes in game. One guy actually blew a vuvuzela into his mic that he'd been using to troll us on wipes. Fuck that guy. Muted. Fuck that guy. A few months later, we stood together for real. We got married. Tell me there's a picture of this. Bex, I need you to email the author. I need a picture of this wedding cake. We got married for real. Our cake topper that we had made was a demon hunter and a holy priest standing side by side. If I don't get that picture, I am going to be pissed. I need to see the picture of this cake with a demon hunter and a holy priest stood on top of it, because that's bants. We still play WoW. We still argue over dumb things like who forgot to bring drums to our dungeon runs, but we always laugh about it now. And I still log into Discord every night and remember how the worst raid night of my WoW life and the Stone Legion generals being so fucking bad that it changed the course of my life forever. I refuse on this story basis to accept that the Stone Legion generals ever did anything positive. No, I do not accept. I do not accept this anomaly. This is an anomaly. I flat out refuse to accept that as a thing. Mikey, that is the end of the story. It didn't go pear-shaped like you suspect it probably did. We are still married to this day. And if you're ever stuck on a nightmare boss, hang in there, because perhaps your future wife will be able to get you through it. I mean, that is... No wonder... Okay, every time Bex tells me she likes a story, it's way too wholesome. It's way, way too wholesome. I don't know what to say. Okay, that's that long. Have we got a shorter one? I'm trying not to screw you guys over, but that's 6 pages. And that one's even longer. That's 7. Yeah. What is that shirt? What is this? I'm here for drama. We could try and speedrun one, but I don't know whether it's going to fuck over my kids. We could probably do it. Okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I can't have you guys go away from drama in a good mood. I refuse. Yeah, I can't finish on a happy story. Right, no way. Right, Sneaky Fox. Schmeven. Long time, Schmeven. Even though I can't spell your name still after all these years. Fat Kid. Uh-oh. This is a story about how Warhammer ruined my life. Big ol' meat pie. Oh, must be a minor part because Fartles is here as well. Okay. We don't need a guild. All right, we're going to go a little fast. All right, we're going to go a little fast purely because I have 14 minutes. Bexy, thank you for reading this story. And if you pass this on to Mike, hello, Mike and chat. I am a lady hailing from the happiest place on earth, Team Canada. Uh-oh. Is it Dame? Mike, I have watched your videos, especially Drama Time, for literally years. You say everybody has a story to share, and well, I guess here's mine. You do, whether you realize it or not. I am not necessarily guilty of the actions of this story. I am, though, guilty overall. I'm guilty of letting the situation snowball by not cutting ties on this group as the red flags started to fill my fucking eyes. I think my major flaw is being a people pleaser, even to those I don't really like. Yeah, why would you do that? My tale takes place in FF14. Oh, shit. It's about to go off the rails. During the time of Shadowbringers. But first, I need to tell you about me. I started gaming MMOs and World of Warcraft in 2009 when I was 9 years old. Yes, I am Gen Z. I am an official Wrath baby. I was obviously terrible. My golden years of raiding started in the Warlords of Draenor when I was about 15. I raided Hellfire Citadel, got ahead of the curve, with a really toxic guild that could be a story in itself, but I'll write that another time. I jumped over to 14 right before you did. A friend from work called Sneaky Fox recommended it to me. Got me past the hurdle that is a realm reborn, and by Heavensward, like many others, I was in. It didn't take long before I caught up to the MSQ at the time. This was around 5.4. I felt the yearning again for organized group content again, seeing all the cool mechanics, glowy weapons, and all the special things people were wearing. By this point, it had been many years since I had done anything like this. Sneaky Fox introduced me to one of her friends, Schmeven, that she had met in a previous guild that they had been in together. I told Fox and Schmeven that I really wanted to do extremes. Fox expressed interest in joining a group with me, but didn't want to lead it. Schmevin said, been there, done that, not leading a group in FF14 again. So that left me to take up the reins. Technically still a newbie and had never raid led before, ever. Still, you're going to raid lead, okay. Still, I wanted the goddamn mounts, and I really wanted to do something with a group of people, especially with my IRL friend, Sneaky Fox. So I pugged Hades Extreme. Alright. And I got to know Schmevin a little more. He was one of those people that always had a joke ready and liked to prank and tease maybe a little too much. The fuck is that supposed to mean? Honestly, every time we interacted, and we still interact to this day, he manages to get on my tits. But he was friends with Sneaky Fox, and I was desperate to get a group together. During all this pugging fiesta, we met Fat Kid and Big Ol' Meat Pie. They seemed nice and were also interested in the idea of progging extremes together and had some people they could bring in. This was the doom. This was doomed from the very, very start. We had Fat Kid and Big Ol' Meat Pie, who were friends in real life. Big Ol' Meat Pie's husband, Fartles, their other friend, a bard who didn't really matter, and was sometimes joined by their friend/partner. I couldn't really figure out what their relationship was. Fat Kid, Big Ol' Meat Pie, and Fartles were the tightest of this clique. They were all still a clique from day one. We also had, of course, me, a Dark Knight, Sneaky Fox, and Schmevin. We were super casual, of course, my friends, which obviously meant we couldn't ever start on time. Our group regularly started raiding 1 hour later than we should have for our 2 to 3 hour weekly progression sessions. Done at that point. Yeah, fuck that. I'm out. I'm out at that point. If that happens once, I'm out without prior notification. If you just rock up an hour late, like, let's get going, fuck you, I'm out. It was always one of the clique's fault, and of course, they would never want to start without the others being there. If one of them couldn't make it, they would outvote us. You try to democratically do this? They would outvote us on starting pulls without them. Schmevin, of course, didn't make a good first impression. During one of our early extreme progs, Schmevin decided it would be a good idea to aim a tank buster at the raid. I can't remember which person it hit, either the Bard or Big Ol' Meat Pie, but it was over from that moment, really. Once you piss off a member of a clique, you piss off all of them. That's true. He continued to joke about doing it afterwards, even going so far as to angle his character towards them with a tank buster sometimes, which the clique didn't find funny at all. You listening to this, Boris? John? Huh? It's not funny to aim tank busters at your healers and shit, right? Pay attention. You're causing problems. Just saying. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny, Brackers, to grip people into mechanics, is it? Another problem was, as we found out very quickly, is Big Ol' Meat Pie was bad. Like, really, really bad. He died every fucking pull. And for stupid fucking reasons. And Fartles saw it happening. He was very vocal. He would scream at his... Oh, it's his wife. He would scream at his wife over voice comms while she was most likely in the same room. As you can imagine, hearing a husband scream at his wife about her terrible play made us very uncomfortable. And I should have known that this was not going to end in a good thing. Still, I stayed, though, because I had a group. Yeah, of course. Sneaky Fox left a short while after this all started. I found out IRL she couldn't take listening to Fartles yelling at his wife. Honestly, no shit. I didn't know why I put up with it either. I didn't know why she put up with it. They had a young child together as well. I found out at some point after this that Meat Pie, Fartles, and Fat Kid all knew each other in real life. Fat Kid lived about a state away and would drive over to see them. I also found out that Fartles and Fat Kid were all involved in a polyamorous relationship together with Meat Pie, and apparently it was all fine. Of course, during this time, the big old Meat Pie got pregnant with Fartles' baby. There's a lot in that sentence, but I'm short on time, so you guys are just going to have to drink this shit down, all right? We're just going to have to plow through this. Mike, all of this was obviously a giant fucking red alarm, and I just ignored for some reason. It's because you've got a group. Sneaky Fox, the one person I actually cared about playing with, had left the group. The clique was strong and outweighed every decision in what I tried to keep a democracy. Yes, I know now that raiding is not a democracy. No, it's not. It was always patched up with, well, they're always being nice to me, and sometimes I have fun raiding with them. But they were jerks. They were jerks to Shmeven now as well, and he would repeatedly gang up on him during extreme progression. It's not that they were outright insulting Shmeven, but the passive aggressiveness amongst all of them was over the top. Even Shmeven could feel it. But did that stop him? Nope, it just made it worse. The thing about these one guys is that they feed off responses, positive or negative, like an emotional vampire. And boy, did that clique give him responses. One day at work, while complaining about Shmeven's antics, Sneaky Fox informed me that they were the reason for their previous guild's drama. Big shocker. Shmeven always gave off those big guy vibes. The toxicity continued to fester between the clique and Shmeven. In between the jokes now, Shmeven was no longer performing well. They died more and more every single time, and usually to this shit we had progged already. Sure, he made jokes sometimes, but often during our progs he was dead silent and unresponsive at this point. I knew I needed to fix this. Haha, you're gonna fix it. Really what I should have done was fucking leave. Yes, but that wasn't even on my mind during those days. I decided we can fix this as a friend unit. And so I decided to call a meeting. With Shmeven's consent, of course. He was getting tired of always being met with passive-aggressive comments and was apparently willing to make amends with the clique so that we could stay together. Mike, this was the worst idea in the history of ideas. I found a time that worked for me, the clique, and for Shmeven. We set up a Discord call so that we could all discuss how to move forward amicably. The clique began by airing out all of their complaints about Shmeven individually. He listened. It seemed to be going pretty well, until the topic of Shmeven's performance came up. He admitted that sometimes he wasn't listening during our prog anymore and had replaced our voice comms with music instead because the sounds of their voice made him angry. Okay. I will admit, I've muted you motherfuckers for a while. Let me just put that out there. It made sense. Shmeven had gone considerably worse as a player over the last little while, but this caused outrage. I don't remember the details, of course, but I do remember having to shut everyone down from yelling at each other. After all, it had actually upset me as well, but I was the mediator. Somehow the situation was diffused enough that we could end the Discord call saying we will still continue to raid. Why? Looking back at it, I think the only reason the clique and Shmeven even stayed was because it had upset me. I don't mean this to sound arrogant, but I think it's the truth. I got along well with everyone in the group individually. I was kind, sociable, always willing to listen to their troubles. I was funny, but knew when to reel in my jokes. It was part of my people-pleasing issue. While yes, I was fun to be around, confrontation was difficult, if not impossible. The only reason I managed to get through this meeting was because the healer who replaced Sneaky Fox kind of encouraged me to do so. Once we left the call, the whispers started. Of course they did. Shmeven was upset with me. He had agreed to a meeting to apologize about his jokes, but he said he felt like he had just been dogpiled, which, yeah, that is exactly what had happened. I generally felt guilty because somehow this person was still my friend. He thought we would do one-on-one with each person individually so it wouldn't turn into a gangbang. I hadn't thought of doing it that way. Mike, should I have done it that way? No, you should have dipped fucking a month ago. You should have been doing the call in the fucking first place. Are you out of your mind? No, you should have fucking dipped ages ago. Fuck these people. I think perhaps if the clique had been a little bit more mature about voicing their concerns, we would have fared better. You fucking naive bastard. What are you talking about? No. These guys have a private Discord. You're fucked. It's gone way too far. It really doesn't help that Shmeven was actually guilty of the things that he had done and the things they were saying. We managed to push onto Diamond Extreme, where Meat Pie managed to die in several stupid ways. But we did get that beautiful Gwibber by the end. In April 2021, I got a call from my father that my mother was in hospital. She'd had a brain aneurysm and was suffering from a brain bleed. It was terrifying, but thankfully my mother is still here to this day. I decided to put the group on hold during this time as I was driving 4 hours a day, 2 hours each way, to visit my mother in the ICU in a different city. I never managed to message the group to resume again. I found interesting that Big Ol' Meat Pie and Fartles and the third had the baby and decided they would work on being a family together, so that was the reason they quit raiding. Until Endwalker released. You know what? We're going to mature. We're going to grow up. We're going to put down the silly games. And we're going to focus on this trifecta of parenthood. To focus on a bit. Wait, what's happening? Emmett Selk? No shit, really. Interesting. Interesting. Elpis, you say? Huh. That is interesting. Sad news, though, I want to share with you is I barely talk to Sneaky Fox anymore. We ended up both moving jobs and don't message each other or see each other anymore. The only person I really talk to is Schmevin, and that's because they contact me. I haven't started a conversation with him in a long time. Oh, dear. Every time he does something to remind me why I don't talk to him in the first place. I've been working on my confrontation skills since those days, but even still, I don't know if I have it in me to end this friendship. He always seems so lonely whenever we chat. He doesn't have many friends in games or in real life, and he doesn't seem to understand why. While I've never met this person in real life, based on what I know of him, I could probably make a guess. Still, I feel sad for him. He does have some genuine moments, which is partially why I could never kick him out. Mike, I just want you to know, what should I possibly do here? Should I end it? And I hope you enjoyed my little story, even though I don't remember a lot of the details. I still think they're better forgotten, honestly, and thank you all for listening. Well, I mean, if he's not intruding on your life, you do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Like, unless when you see that Discord message come through, you're like, I just want to fucking die or change my Discord name or something like that. I mean, you can always say, just don't contact me again. All right, I'm moving. Don't do gaming anymore. Leave it alone or whatever. The other things, when you guys see these red flags, certainly if you see a click, like a tight click that gangs up on people, get the fuck out of there. I have to jet. I am almost 30 seconds late. We'll be back on Monday with Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's going to be a whole thing. It should be a blast. I can't wait for it. I'm excited for it. It's going to be great. But I have to go. So love you guys, and I will see you in a couple of days. All right? Be good. Bye-bye. I'll post some pictures if I can. I'm not sure if I'm allowed.